I feel like we need to normalize being single. Your world should not revolve around being in a relationship. Like, it is not a personality trait. Hey guys, I hope you're all really well. If you're new here, my name is Tanvi and I talk all things finance, fashion, and lots of things in between. So if that is something you'd like to see, then please subscribe to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about something that I genuinely think is probably one of my most highly requested videos. As the title suggests, this video is literally going to be how I stay happy being single. For those of you who don't know, I have been single for quite some time and I kind of pride myself off it. I've just really found myself in a place where I am so happy single that it's going to take a really special guy to take me off the market. I also think that when you are really happy on your own, you're so much less likely to put up with red flags and you're so much less likely to settle because you have set the bar so high for yourself and you bring yourself so much happiness and joy. If someone even threatens that in the slightest, you'll have so much more respect for yourself and you will be willing to put your foot down way more than relying on them for happiness. If anyone threatens my peace or my happiness, they're not worth it. I refuse to settle for someone that doesn't add value and is a bonus to my life. And I want to get into how I've kind of got to that place because I have experienced some really bad breakups and I truly believe that once you are 100% happy on your own, it's only then when you are ready for a relationship. I feel like if you're not 100% happy on your own, you're almost seeking something in someone else to kind of fill that void or make you happy. And so I think it's so important to try and understand and focus on being happy by yourself first. So if you're newly single and you've just gone through a breakup, I genuinely do feel like the beginning parts of a breakup are sometimes the hardest things to go through. I know what it's like to feel like your world has literally come crushing down in the space of a day or even like an hour and everything you thought you'd envisioned for your future is just like no more. Whether you did the breaking up or you have been broken up with, a breakup is never easy and there's never a right time for it, but I want you to know that every single day does get easier and this feeling that you're currently feeling, I promise you, you won't feel it forever. First of all, you've got to recognize that time and timing is everything, and when you go through a breakup, it is the worst feeling and you almost hit rock bottom, but you've got to look at it like you just need some time to almost like rebuild yourself up from scratch. And I think the longer you're with someone, the longer it takes to get over someone. You've got to not pressure yourself to like move on immediately. So in that time, let yourself feel the emotions, let yourself heal. Time is also quite literally something you can't control, and that's why it makes it really difficult to accept that time is the biggest healer because it's not in your control and you've got to just let it be. I guarantee you every single day it gets a little bit easier and it'll come to a point where in 6 months, in 1 year, in 3 years time, you're looking back and you're fully healed and you've moved on and you're so happy and you'll realise that it was the right decision. But it's really hard to see that quite soon after a breakup. In that time, you've got to be strong. Like, you literally cannot be messaging them, you can't be like ringing them, drunk calling them, stalking them on socials. Like, don't worry, we've all been there. But it's like the worst thing you can do because that just doesn't help you heal, it doesn't help the process. So you've got to really like block it all out in that time and let yourself just focus on you, and the rest kind of happens naturally. The second thing, which I would recommend doing, is make a red flag list. Now, for those of you who don't know what a red flag list is, it's quite self-explanatory, but just make a list of red flags, like reasons why it wouldn't work, things you find unattractive about them, even if it's like physically, emotionally, mentally, just things that you can refer back to, that if you have a moment of weakness, get this list back up and remind yourself of why you shouldn't be with that person. Even if you can think of 2 like deal-breaking things, it will really help you to get over them because you'll basically be telling yourself, this is not someone that deserves me. I think it's quite a nice one, but write a list of things that you love about yourself and things that you believe make you more attractive as a person. I feel like this will make you recognize like how much you deserve and your self-worth, and this will make you not want to settle and go back into old habits. It will literally make you set the bar much higher than maybe you had done previously. This will really help you when you also start to date again because it will make you realise like what you shouldn't be settling for and what you would expect in someone else. Number 5, I think just do things that make you happy on your own. Now, I'm definitely guilty of not doing this, because I often rely on like going out with my friends and going out for meals and being around other people to make me happy. So you've got to find things that bring you joy and bring you happiness on your own, and whether that's like watching YouTube videos or reading a book, listening to podcasts, listening to some music, like whatever it is, those are the sorts of things that you can do completely on your own. When you start to do things that bring you happiness on your own, you're slowly relying less and less on that one person that you used to do everything with, and it will make it so much easier for you to then try and like be independent and be happy completely by yourself. Okay, at number 6, this isn't contradicting the previous point, because I do think it's important to find things that make you happy on your own, but also surround yourself with people that love you and a good support system. Now, going through breakups can honestly be some of the hardest things you have to do in life, especially if it's someone that you literally thought you were going to get married to. But if you have a really good support system, whether that's your friends or family, just people that you know you can FaceTime and call up when you're having a bit of a wobble or you're having a low point, then it's really good to know that you've got those sorts of people in your life that you can fall back on. Breakups are never like an upward linear process, and I should have probably mentioned this at the beginning, but they're a process. So when you are on your down days and you feel like, oh, maybe I should just reach back out to them, or maybe that wasn't the right decision, that's when you need to rely on the people that you know you can rely upon. I know that I have friends who are good people, but they are not good when it comes to breakups. So kind of understand who the right person to go to for that kind of emotional support is, and someone who's not going to make you feel worse. Also someone who's not just going to tell you what you want to hear to make you feel better. Right, number 7 is about the next steps and like dating and getting into another relationship. And I would definitely say, like, don't pressurize yourself or force yourself to find someone new until you're 1000% ready. You might almost feel like, well, I've got to find someone to replace that with and start that life that I dreamed of and get married and have kids. No, you've got to look at it like you've actually got to start from scratch again and like get to know someone again. And it takes a really long time to properly get to know someone, what they're like in lots of different situations, like when they're angry, when they're stressed, when they're going through something difficult. You need to then like refill all of those things with someone new, and that takes time and you can't rush that. And I know it can be really daunting to be like, oh, I have to like meet new people and have small chat with like all these different people again, but it's worth doing rather than rushing it and then actually being with someone that you don't even really know properly. So yeah, don't put too much pressure on yourself to find someone new quickly. Take your time getting to know someone, and also don't even start dating until you're ready to do so. I also think it's so fun to date and be single and like meet loads of new people, loads of different people, figure out what you truly want and what you need. Your last relationship might have taught you a lot about what you do and don't want, and maybe you want to go for someone completely different. Well, I would love to do more videos on dating, by the way, so comment below if you want me to. Maybe I'll do a dating diaries. If anyone wants to go on a date with me, let me know. Make the most of being single as well, because once you do settle down with someone, hopefully it is forever, and you're never going to get that single time back where you're completely on your own and you don't have to think about someone else and commit some of your time to someone else. So yeah, enjoy being on your own as well. That moves on nicely to number 8, which I would say is like start some new hobbies. Maybe start a business, maybe start some side hustles. You're never going to get that time back where you're completely risk-free, no one is depending on you, no one is relying on your time. So if there's anything that you ever thought, oh, I really want to start that side hustle, do it then, because the best time to do it is when you're on your own and when you're single. Then when you meet someone, it's like, well, this is already a given. Like, these are my non-negotiables. I go to the gym every day, or I have content to do in the evenings. Like, that's what I come with. And you then find someone to kind of fit into that pattern or that life that you've already built for yourself. So yeah, start those side hustles. Right, number 9 is a financial tip, and I would say is like have a saving goal. So I think being single is a really good time to save money. I know some of you are going to be rolling your eyes because you're going to be like, well, when you date you have to spend so much money, but there's so many dates you can go on that are not expensive, like walks in the park, coffee dates, just TikTok it or YouTube it. Trust me, there's so many free London date ideas. But I think it's a good time when you're on your own to have a saving goal, whether that's to buy a new car or save up for a property. Like, these are sorts of things that you can really focus some energy and time into doing when you're single. And I feel like for me especially, like I have very specific saving goals in mind. Buying a property is one of them, and I've really focused on that whilst being on my own, instead of like having to go on regular date nights and going on a holiday and buying presents for someone, which I don't have to do when I'm single. I've really been able to fine tune how I spend my money, and I love that independence of having the choice because I don't have anyone in the equation to worry about. And at number 10, last but not least, just acknowledge that being in a relationship is not the be all and end all. Like, it is not a personality trait. Your world should not revolve around being in a relationship and being a partner. And I know 100% when you're in a relationship and you're in love, like your worlds do revolve around each other, and that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is don't make it your end life goal to be in a relationship, because it's when you're looking that hard and you need it that much that things don't work out, or you rush the decision, or you settle for the wrong persons. And I feel like we need to normalize being single way more, especially in the South Asian community. So yeah, it's really cliche, but trust me, everything happens for a reason. It will happen when you least expect it. And being single is not so bad. And I hope you guys can find some love in being single too. You are the most important person in your life, and you should be loving yourself the most before anyone else. I hope that video helped. I hope you guys do find it useful, especially if you are single over winter. I know it can be so much more difficult at this time of year. And if you're going through a breakup, I hope every day gets a bit easier for you, and I promise you this feeling doesn't last forever. Please don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to my channel, and comment your thoughts below. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye!